Welcome to Let's Talk Live with Martin U, the live podcast bringing much needed community conversations to the table. Let's Talk Live with Martin U is an exciting, reverent, and educational podcast that digs deep into current topics, community involvement, and stories of our alumni success that only Martin University can deliver. I am Auntia King, and joining me today is Miss Florence Myers. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you so very much for having me.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing wonderful. It's a beautiful day, Auntia.
It is. So, I want to see a little bit about you. Can you tell me about your background and who you are?
Well, first, I am a Martin University alumni. I recently graduated from Martin University, as a matter of fact, this past May. And it's a lot about me. I'm a mother, I'm a grandmother, I'm a great grandmother. So I guess I would be considered a non traditional student. I was
So,
born here in I was born here in Indianapolis and lived here all my life. What would you like to know about me, Atia?
I want to know what you studied. What did you study here at Martin University? And how are you going to pursue that degree?
Studied business administration here at Martin University, and I received my bachelor's. Actually, what had happened was several years ago, I had wanted to return to school and um, just had life. Life happened and kept putting it on hold. Um, I previously was in business. I had worked at Department of Transportation for many years as a business administrator, and that was going well. That was one of those jobs that I would consider. You know how they have that saying that if you find a job you like, you never work another day in your life. That was that job for me. However, because of my vision, I have a condition called retinitis pigmentosa, which now I'm blind. I ended up leaving that job. But if I knew then what I knew now, I would not have left that job. I'm using right now the business administration degree to help my family members. One of my daughters has a business, so I'm assisting her. And my other daughter is getting ready to start her business and wants me to be her business manager. So it's one of those things, I see it as a family affair.
Nice. And I know that you mentioned that you were diagnosed with something to take away your vision and now you're blind. What is a common misconception that you believe people might have due to you being blind that you can still overcome and they may not know?
Okay, I'm going to back up just a little bit if I might. The
Hmm.
condition that I have is retinitis pigmentosa. I was actually
Okay.
diagnosed at the age of 3, so I've been coping with it all my life. Over the years, my eye condition progressively worsened. Uh, I've never been able to drive, even though I learned to drive, but when I couldn't get my license, I decided to protect everybody. It wasn't a good idea to even try to drive. I, um, I used the vision that I had until, as I mentioned, Department of Transportation, my vision worsened and it started getting darker for me. And I wasn't really sure what I was going to do from there. I stopped working at the Department of Transportation, but after a couple years, I got bored and started looking for another job. I did find another job, and that was at a organization, United Way, Connect to Help, and a lot of people call it 211. And that
Hmm.
worked for me for a minute. Well, what ended up happening was I'm with an organization, the National Federation of the Blind, And what we do, we advocate for the rights of blind individuals, concerning housing, education, employment, whatever ways that a person needs advocating. But with that, we must first learn how to advocate for ourselves. And I am a part of the National Federation of the Blind. It is the largest organized group of blind individuals in the nation.
Wow.
And here in Indianapolis, I'm with the Circle City chapter where I'm vice president. I also am with a um, part of the National Federation of the Blind called Newsline. Um, it's a free audio service for the blind and visually impaired because it is so important for blind individuals such as myself to know what's going on in the world, so that basically we can sit with you and hold that what I consider an intelligent conversation.
Hmm.
We have the news on television, but it's nothing like reading it for yourself. And because it is audio, I'm able to pick up my iPhone or my Alexa, talk to Alexa and my computer, my Victor Reader Stream, and get the information for myself using the free audio information service. I actually have um, spoken with a lot of people, Tia, about this service
Hmm.
because I too, I feel that it's very important that we stay in tune and stay in touch. I came over here to Martin University one day. Let me back up just a bit. I was attending a town hall meeting one day. Representative John Bartlett was having a town hall meeting, and he had invited Dr. Huddleston to the meeting. And I too was at the meeting to speak about free audio service that I just mentioned to you and about the advocacy that we do.
Hmm.
And and with that, I heard Dr. Huddleston the first time. And then the next meeting that I went to, he was there again. I had been thinking about going back to school, and I decided at that time to go back to school. I tell people I waited to almost 100 to go back, but that is something that I really wanted to do because I am blind. Um, People sometimes have what we call low expectations of us because people don't know what they don't know. People don't know that with the proper tools and training, we can sit along other colleagues and do the same work that they do.
Yes.
Um, Basically, it just takes the proper tools. Like, for instance, a lot of my equipment may talk to me. My computer, I use a piece of software called JAWS. On my iPhone, I use VoiceOver, which allows my iPhone to talk to me. Um, so it's just a matter of having the proper tools and training. It's a lot. It's a lot of things that blind people can do. It's just that most people aren't given a chance. And also, Tia, in the blind community, with a lot of
Hmm.
employers are reluctant to hire blind people. Right now, the unemployment rate for blind individuals sits around 70 to 75%, and probably higher for certain ethnicities. And that's
Hmm.
something that we really have to work on. We really do. This month is, we used to call this Meet the Blind Month. However, changed it to Blind Equality Achievement Month because once we meet you, we're hoping to stand with you, that you would stand with us in our efforts to uh, to be employed, to get that education, to let people know that we're no different than anyone else. It just so happens that our eyes don't work. That's it. Every single person is coping with something. Mine just happens to be my eyes just don't work.
I like how you put that. Very beautiful. However, I know you are involved at Martin University and
Yes.
you're on the alumni chair. Can you please tell me what is going on Friday night?
Yes, ma'am. And I am so excited about it. This coming Friday, we are kicking off Liberation Friday. Now, let me tell you a little bit about Liberation Friday. Liberation
Please
Friday
do.
is actually a spin-off. It's a spin-off of our Juneteenth celebration that was held here at Martin University in June. And what happens a lot is a lot of our events are kind of watered down over the years. And what we want to do is keep Liberation Friday alive throughout the year. We, we want to educate our community with our truths, with our truths. There is so much that our community does not know. With emphasis on the family, what we want to do is uh, highlight certain themes throughout the year. For instance, this coming Friday is actually the third Friday of the month. So every third Friday of the month, we will be holding Liberation Friday. Now, the word liberation itself means to set free, to set free. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and with that being said, I'm going to say this. There is a scripture actually, St. John 4:32. It says, and then you shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. So when you're teaching truths, you can walk in that truth. You can stand on that truth
Mm,
because the truth is the truth no matter who tells it and when it's told. So it is very important that we teach our truths. And we have individuals who have gotten together with the same passion and says, okay, we're going to highlight these things. We're going to highlight Black men and family. We're going to highlight education. We're going to highlight family and mental health, history, politics, communities of faith, talent. These things must be highlighted. And as we teach and as we speak these things, then people will become empowered. It is so important that we understand who we were before the
mm-hmm.
shackles and who we are now. As far as our children, there's a special interest for our children. And let me tell you this, there's a tribe in Africa, the Massa tribe. And Ted, they do not greet each other the way we do. You know, for instance, we'll say, how are you doing? They don't
Mm-hmm.
say that. They say, how are the children? And the answer should be, the children are well. Because if your children are well, your family's well. If your family's
Right.
well, your community is well. So it is an effort, it is a collective effort to make sure that people are informed, are informed and educated and empowered through the words that are going to be spoken. And I'm going to share this because it is so important that people know this. There's been many times where we've said somebody needs to do something, somebody ought to. So we have
Right.
said we're going to. It is time, it is necessary, and the time is now for Liberation Friday. And here at Martin University, being the only predominantly Black institution that we have here in the state of Indiana, this is where it's going to start. This is where it should be. And we say for people, come out to Martin University, Liberation Friday, from the belly to the elderly, come out. Because when people come out, their lives will be empowered through the sharing of our truths.
So with Liberation Friday, can you tell me what time it starts, what we should wear, all the good details that we need to know so we can be liberated on Friday with
Yes,
you?
ma'am. It's going to start at 6 p.m. this coming Friday, October 21st. We're going to start on time. So I would say promptly at 6 p.m. And but You wear whatever you are comfortable in. Wear whatever you're comfortable wearing. There will be refreshments there. Um, there will be, it's just family. It's all about family. It's all about just coming together and hearing these truths and sharing these truths. Dr. Patricia Payne is our keynote speaker. Dr. Patricia Payne, she is an awesome woman. She's an icon in our community. This woman has been
Hmm.
teaching for over 60 years. And I mean, she's been in education for over 60 years. And she is
Wow.
phenomenal. She's a historian. She's an goodness, a social, advocate. This woman is phenomenal. Somebody you just don't want to miss.
Right. Sounds so exciting. Outside of Liberation Friday, what makes this year's homecoming so much different from the past?
Now I'm gonna share this with you. What I'm really excited about this year is the opportunity to actively participate in
Mm,
Martin's homecoming, because with me, I had not had that opportunity, and it was not Martin. It was me. It was me. I had um, family. Family always has something going on, and with the COVID,
yes.
and the thing about it is that that just kind of kept people away. So I'm expecting great things through this homecoming. I mean, I was so excited to be able to come to Martin's event on this past Sunday. Uh, and what Martin is doing right now, I am excited, very excited. Uh, I don't know whether I can say this, but I'm, what I see right now is Martin's cutting up. Martin's Martin's doing some things, really. Martin's doing some things, and that's the only way that I can put it. Because I mean, as far as some of the things that are taking place here at Martin, and um, I've got a daughter right now, my youngest daughter. She cannot wait to sign up for Martin. She wants to be here in January. I have a niece who
Yes.
came with me on Sunday. She was thinking about going to another college first, but I told her, I said, well, honey, I said, you've got what's that, first century scholars,
Mm-hmm.
use it. I said, come
Right.
to Martin, and then I mean later on, if you want to go somewhere else for uh, for something else, then do that. But come here to Martin. She says, you know what, Auntie, I'm going to do that. So right now, I mean, I see two people so far that's excited, just as I am, about what Martin is doing. Martin's doing great things.
You mentioned your daughter starting in January. Does she know about the Reset and Reemerge campaign that just kicked off and it starts in January? It's
Yes,
going to be
that's
perfect for her.
yes. And actually, I had given her my legacy scholarship also.
Wow.
So she's really excited about it, and so am I.
She's winning. She got the legacy scholarship. You get the banded tuition rate. So I know she's just going to be on track to finish when she finishes in the right amount of time. So I'm very excited for your daughter, for your niece. I'm excited for you participating and everything with the homecoming and Liberation Friday. And I just thank you so much for joining us and taking the time out of your day to speak your experience and your journey here at Martin University and draw more people in to participate and be liberated, as you wanted to mention, like being a family. So I think that's really important. And I thank you so much for joining me today on Let's Talk Live.
Thank you so very much for inviting me.
Do you have anything you'd like to share with the viewers? Any upcoming events, anything that you're working on, just whatever. This is your platform right now.
Okay, well, I first want to, I am going to definitely talk about Liberation Friday. Liberation Friday, as I mentioned, it's going to happen every third Friday of every month with, with what I call a Juneteenth explosion. because what we want to teach our community, what we want to speak to our community is going to just make people really, really excited about what's going to come next. What's going to come
Mm-hmm.
next. Um, for instance, this month is Dr. Patricia Payne. Next month, we have on our calendar Dr. Cleet Ladd. He's a professor over here at Martin University, and that man also is a walking history book. And then we have
Yeah.
another, yes, and I'm equally as excited about what we're going to hear from him. We have another one that's set for December, another speaker, Dr. Mr. Burgess. Uh, we've got some events that's coming up with Liberation Friday that you just don't want to miss. Also, personally, I stay pretty busy. I currently stay pretty busy with my daughters, and I I have I host a co-host a television show. I co-host a
Mm-hmm.
television show. It comes on WHMB 40. It's called National Federation of the Blind, Newsline, Indiana, and been
Nice.
doing this for about 5 years. We reach into the community. We basically do what you're doing, Tia. We do
Hey.
what you're doing. And that's why I'm so excited about what you're doing, what Martin's doing here, because like I said, Martin's doing some
Yeah.
great things. And I have all of my children, of course, they're grown and they're doing their own thing, but they support their mother in every effort. I support them with their every effort. And again, I plan on spending more time just taking care of their business needs on the business end of their business. One of my daughters has a couple of vending sites. She is a blind vendor. And so these rest stops that you see along the highway, those are
Mm-hmm.
actually run by blind vendors. And my daughter has the same eye condition that I do. So she runs those vending sites at those rest stops along the highway. And my other daughter is basically that's what she's in the program right now, preparing to do that as well. She's currently a nurse, but her vision is changing. They have the same eye condition I do, but however, they can still see.
Well, sounds like you guys are booked and busy and working, and I hope you guys reach the goals that you have set for this year of 2022, going into a new year next year of 2023. And that is all the time that we have today. So again, I thank you so much for joining us today on Let's Talk Live with Martin Yu, Miss Myers, and for sharing your knowledge and expertise with the Martin community.
Thank you so very much. And so again, this is Meet the Blind Month, Blind Equality Achievement Month, and it's good to talk to you, Tia.
It was great talking to you. Thank you guys. I'm your guest host, Tia King, and I'm here the same place, same time next week, right here on Let's Talk Live with Martin Yu. Bye.
It's like having a blessing that you don't know you've been given. There are support systems that are within Martin that may not exist in another space. Martin University is in the business of creating success stories. Success stories like me.